Okay.
Give it to the Lord and let him make it right. He said he give his blessings to those who call his name. Life has its ups, like it has its downs. It's your strength and faith that gets you off the ground.
Pass it around, right? About to bother your camera right here. Just pass it around.
Through his grace and mercy, you can make it through it all. Oh, embrace your faith. Embrace your faith.
I just squeezed it up under
It's
there.
okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Because you got grace. Oh, grace. Oh, grace. Trouble don't last always. Trouble don't last always. I know it's hard and you're looking for change.
What's up?
Yeah.
Grace. You're gonna get through it anyway. You're gonna get through it. Nobody's perfect. Just give yourself a little. Just give yourself a little grace, yeah. Let grace pick you up when life puts you down. Down to your knees, you feel lost, can't be found. Just praise the Lord. He knows your heart. Don't care if you're straying, no matter how far. Yeah, refuge when I lost my mind. I couldn't see the way, but he opened my eyes. Through his grace and mercy, the victory is mine. May not come when you want it, but he always on time. On time. Oh, embrace your faith. Embrace your faith. It's okay.
Okay.
Because you got grace. Oh, grace. Thank you for your grace. Trouble don't last always. Trouble don't last always. I know it's hard and you're looking for change. And you're looking for change. Oh, grace. You're gonna get through it anyway. You're gonna get through it anyway. Nobody's perfect. Just give yourself a little grace. Give yourself a little grace. Give yourself a little grace.
Now this one here bad.
Man, folks so funny. They won't block you on Facebook, TikTok, or Instagram.
Why you talk about it?
Be a man once when they don't like you. Well, watch the show. God gonna put you front row. It's gonna always be the ones that don't like you. Then God gonna put on the front row to watch what He about to do for you. He said, "Be still and wait." He gon' bless you in their face. Not vain. Gotta watch what He about to do for you. He said, "Don't wait 'cause it's coming."
We've been on since 9 o'clock.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Come on. You gotta walk that walk and not just talk that talk. Come on. Yeah. You gotta do what you do and let them do what they do. If they talk about Jesus, you know they'll talk about you. They get mad when you walk that walk. All them haters do is talk that talk. They get mad when you walk that walk. All them haters do is talk that talk. Just keep walking. Let them say what they gon' say, but they won't say it to your face. They rather talk behind your back, spreading lies, not stating facts. But that's cool, play it smooth. You ain't gotta move like they do. You gotta walk it, let them talk it. Ain't no action in that yap. You gotta walk it, let them talk it. Ain't no action in that yapping. Just a lie to your own folks. Steady hating and capping. You gotta do what you do and let them do what they do. If they talk about Jesus, you know they'll talk about you. They get mad when you walk that walk. All them haters do is talk that talk. They get mad when you walk that walk. All them haters do is talk that talk. Just keep walking on. Talk it like you talk it. Let them say what they gon' say. They can't do it like you do, so they gon' hit you anyway. Live your life how you gon' live it. Hold your head, don't be ashamed. When you're moving for the better, all they gon' say is you just so gonna stare if they don't walk it like you walk it. Gonna stare, you stumble and kept on walking. You gotta do what you do and let them do what they do. If they talk about Jesus, you know they'll talk about you. They get mad when you walk that walk. All them haters do is talk that talk. They get mad when you walk that walk. All them haters do is talk that talk. Just keep walking on them. Just keep walking on them.
All right.
Just keep walking.
The Open Line Radio Show is supported in part by Finders Keepers, the place with your residential hardware needs, small engines, outdoor power equipment, bathroom accessories, electronics, lighting, plumbing, and everything in between. Located in the Southern Development Office Building, at 1006 Surrey Street, Lafayette. Telephone 337-780-8149. That's Finders Keepers.
The Open Line Radio Show is also powered by Ice Diamonds and Treats, LLC, with frozen treats, snow cones, inflatables, play units, and event needs. Now serving the South Louisiana region. Telephone 225-276-0786. That's 225-276-0786. That's Ice Diamonds and Treats, LLC.
You are now tuned into my man, Brother Jay, and our conscious sister, bringing the people the knowledge on the Open Line Radio Show on 88.3 FM, your superstation for South Louisiana.
Greetings, brothers and sisters.
88.3 FM.
Welcome to the Open Line. I'm Brother Jay. I'll be here with my co-host, Sister Khadijah. Stay tuned and relax for the Open Line on KIEE 88.3, your superstation.
Welcome to the Open Line
on KIEE 88.3, your superstation. The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers and are not necessarily those of KIEE 88.3 staff or management. Thanks for listening.
KIEE, the Louisiana Superstation, presents the community's #1 radio talk show, The Open Line. If you have an open mind.
Just listen and understand where we coming from. Full grown, T-Town, fella. I need heaven, Lord help me find my crossroads. Harsh living temptations, please cleanse my soul. We live where government barely give us assistance. To this day it still don't have existence. For instance, me telling me owner by all company business. That's when they show hate and here start their bitterness. I take their bitterness and grant myself to have greatness. Realize I have a family to raise, don't have time to be careless. Make moves, strategize, have a plan for my life. Please, Lord, don't let me die tonight. Please, Lord, help me to keep living right. Keep my head above water, front seat on this flight. On this flight, keep my head in the sky, floating on air. Wrestling enemies, winning with figure fours like a flare. Call it all black men to stand up, have patience. Heaven help us, keep me away from Satan. Just speaking from my conscience, thoughts of a man. Politics, my decisions, accepting the consequences, my plan. That's why I rhyme, living in my prime to get ahead one day at a time. That's why I rhyme, living in my prime to get ahead one day at a time. Feel me, one day at a time. Yeah, feel me, one day at a time. Heaven help me, heaven help me. In these times in life, help me to keep living right. One day have a wife, make a change in my life, not to be living trite. Heaven help me, in these times in life, help me to keep living right. One day have a wife, make a change in my life, not to be living trite.
Some wonder if there's a heaven up above. Why I wonder, cause God created love. No mortal man could create that feeling. Not in the devil's world with all these underhanded dealings. For instance, how they did my people in New Orleans. They're stranded for days, had them scratching and crawling. That's all we get from the powers that be. Who empowers the powers that be? Not me, might be DEVIL. Do what he say like puppets and burning hell. I'm not better than the next man, I'm guilty of them too. I gotta keep it real cause I'm not hypocritical. If that ain't right, they won't let Bible scriptures pass. You can't do nothing in this world without cash. Help me, I would love to change my ways. Money is the root to all evil and I'm trying to get paid.
Heaven help me, in these times in life, help me to keep living right. One day have a wife, make a change in my life, not to be living trite. Heaven help me, in these times in life, help me to keep living right. One day have a wife, make a change in my life, not to be living trite.
Heavenly Father, please save me, cause I'm about to go crazy. Times are hard on my soul, my heart's so cold. I'm what they call the product of a broken home. Broken dreams, broken promises, I'm all alone. I gotta find a way to make a way about the struggle. It's mind-boggling, cause the pressure's always on me. You wouldn't believe half of the things I've been through. People that turned their backs on me, said I would lose. Called me a fool for fighting, but I still fought through. That's why I walk around this earth like I got nothing to lose. So Father, if you hear me, can you help me on my way? Show me, guide me where I need to be. I'm tired, Lord, I'm so tired. Can you take away the rain, bring the sunshine? I'm down on my knees, I'm begging, can you please open the gates, send heaven to help me.
Heaven help me, in these times in life, help me to keep living right. One day have a wife, make a change in my life, not to be living trite. Heaven help me, in these times in life, help me to keep living right. One day have a wife, make a change in my life, not to be living trite.
It's designed to delay or deprive you and me right now of getting full rights. It's the government that's responsible. And anytime you find the government involved in a conspiracy to violate the citizenship or the civil rights of people, then you are wasting your time going to that government expecting redress. Instead, you have to take that government to the world court and accuse it of genocide and all of the other crimes that it is guilty of today.
The Open Line Radio Show. You can call us at 337-534-0036. That's 337-534-0036 for talk and information on Louisiana Superstation, KIEE 88.3 FM.
Good morning, people. Welcome to another edition of the Open Line Radio Show here on 88.3 KIEE. If you want to listen to the show, you can go to KIEEFM.com. Go to KIEEFM.com. You can listen to the show through their online streaming app. Go ahead and listen to the show. One thing about this radio station, it's the little radio station that could. We are in the community. We are caring about the community. We are for the community. I want to thank Mr. John Freeman and Mr. Charles for helping facilitating these fine shows with all these great programmings here on 88.3 FM. Also, we want to thank AOC Community Media that's carrying the bulk of the broadcasting privileges that we have on this station and their platform. We want to thank the staff and management of AOC Community Media. Shout out to Brother Shahid, who's also a employee of AOC Community Media, and also check him out at Finders Keepers over here, right here in the Southern Development Building. Also, one of our other backers of the Open Line Radio Show, along with his beautiful wife, Sister Khadijah. We want to thank them. She's not in today. I know it's been a while since we've been in these physical studios of 88.3 FM, but technology helps us put it on from anywhere in the world. Just want you guys to know that. Also, check out a lot of different platforms we're on. We're on YouTube under Real Talk on the Air. On YouTube, Real Talk on the Air. That's REEL. Also on live on Facebook. That's Brother J or Leroy Vallow page. Just search for the Open Line Radio Show and Real Talk Media. Also on our my digital streaming radio platform called Digital Soul Radio. Digital Soul Radio. So there's many ways to listen and look at this show, and we appreciate all the platforms that we have access to now, because now it's a different time where, you know, there are, it's coming from my perspective, the FCC right now is having some changes implemented, not to the best interest of the people. It is basically borderline corrupt when you could use the government agency, the taxpayers' fund, you fund it, everybody else funded who pays taxes, the FCC to dictate what is said on air. Most of these programs, such as NPR, PBS, they stick through tough community standards, and so there's no reason to be trying to ban them off the air. While you have a lot of profanity, a lot of racist stuff being pushed forward in other media on the air. So pay attention to that, people. Now, I urge everybody to write the FCC, say don't turn the FCC into a corrupt mafia-type operation, and only those who favor this administration are allowed to stay on air. This is very bad, people, and I have to speak out on that. The problem with us in these days and times, we are too scared to speak out on a lot of wrongness. We wasn't scared to speak out maybe 25 years ago, maybe 40 years ago, but now it's like we terrified to speak out against these people who have a different agenda. The agenda is corruption and racism, and it's plain and simple. It's in our face. Look what's happening to Jasmine Crockett in Texas. Look what's happening to her. And the delegation, they want to get a majority control of the Texas state legislature in order to gerrymander all these people, the local people in the state and the national congressional office, to get them out of office, especially our sister Jasmine Crockett. If it wasn't so much for the profanity Jasmine used describing this person in the White House, I would play it on air. but certainly I might play a snippet of it, but not that part. But she certainly called him out in a way that he didn't like it. So a lot is going on, and we're going to bring up some issues. I know in the second half, we have a guest from the Promise of Justice Institute. They're having a discussion on the problematic work they are having to deal with the current political landscape of what you call tough on crime policies and how mass incarceration in Louisiana is currently fueled by Jeff Landry administration and the abduction of migrant members into jails and prisons throughout Louisiana. You know, people don't know Louisiana is actually the center point of all these migrant and immigrants imprisonment. Louisiana, Gina, Louisiana. Remember the Gina 6? Remember the place called Gina? Well, they have very large internment camps, or what we call concentration camps, in Gina. There's also a large one in Basile, also, and they plans to build more, even plans to house them in Angola. That's another troubling. The whole point of this, Angola is a high security, maximum security prison, and the point, adding more people to it for the good or for the better, that's wrong. That's wrong. So I have a clip I might want to play about from Brother Rashad Ritchie. Our guest comes on, as a matter of fact, our guest comes on at the 10 o'clock hour. And it's dealing with a lot of stuff. Let me cue it up while I play some intro music. Play a little intro music, and let's see if there's something. Okay, a little intro music right quick. Yeah, I love that song, Donny Hathaway and Roberta Flack, late great Donny Hathaway. What a great song, Back Together Again. Hope we, as our community, can get back after all of this mess where this administration is hell-bent on destroying everything that people have worked for. So I'm going to play this piece, and you get an idea from Brother Rashad Ritchie what is really going on with this administration as it relates to the black community.
Remember when I told you that Trump is decreasing black employment without saying the word black? We have the numbers. Black unemployment dramatically increases under Donald Trump. Black unemployment under Trump reaches its highest rate since the pandemic. Let me tell you what this means. The latest jobs report released by the Department of Labor shows that black unemployment spiked to 7.2% in.
So we have a technical issue with it. I'll play it another way right quick. It's not playing playing out. It's just playing on television. So we're going to play it another kind of way. We're going to try to find it and play it. But again, the job numbers for the state of Louisiana is not good at all. As far as you saw the job report that came out and showed where there was less jobs being created because of what this is present administration. And Rashad Ritchie wants to touch on that. And I think I have the clip coming up. Let's see. Wow. Things never go as you plan when you're doing talk radio. And let's see, we have a lot of our...
marking its highest rate since the COVID-19 pandemic nearly 4 years ago. The black unemployment rate has not seen its...
But anyway, Brother Rashad Ritchie had a lot to say about what's going on with this president administration putting all these crazy things in place. Well, in Texas, I think we have a caller. Okay, let's get this caller. Good morning, caller. Good morning, caller. Call back, caller. Call back, caller. Again, we have so many crazy things going on with this administration, and hopefully we get that straight. Let's see. Okay. Things go better. Things go bad fast in some cases. Let's get this caller. Good morning, caller.
Hey, what's happening, Jay?
What's going on, brother? What's going on?
Ain't nothing, man. I've been watching for the couple of minutes that you've been on. I got a couple of little things I want to elaborate on.
You got the floor.
Look, you say the FCC is taking, so-say, further stands and blocking our First Amendment?
Yeah, yes.
Well, Trump administration is really pushing it. Now, Biden administration, which is the Democratic Party, they did the same thing. This is not as ruthless as Trump is doing it, okay?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So that's another thing that we got to stop being distracted to as black people. Now, you mentioned Jasmine Crockett. Very educated black woman who is being used to say all the things that the white Democrats can't say or are afraid to say before Trump get back to them, okay? Now, Jasmine Crockett, if she would start her own party, she would have more respect than fighting for these white Democrats who are giving her all the information she need on Trump to be said. Notice how these white Democrats, behind closed doors, they're gangster, and then when it's time to be outspoken, what they do? Send a blackface. You understand that?
Right.
Notice the Democratic Party is not coming out and say everything they were saying when Biden was in office.
And they don't give a credit either. They want to push her out in some other circles, from leadership.
Well, the thing is, white don't eat white, and it's very true. I'm gonna put it to you just like that. Is that we got to understand we're fighting for other people's democracy, not ours, black people, theirs. And they only keep the black people on their Democratic card to rile us up with their nonsense. Everything that's starting to happen in the public's eye now has been being done to black people.
Right.
We just not paying attention to it because we let them put their fear in our head. You mentioned about the prison system, Louisiana penitentiary plantation system that has been designed to keep black people and house them for free labor. Nothing has changed. It is that we have changed. And it's a big business. And it's also hurting white people in Louisiana, as you notice.
Right.
But to get us riled up, the Democrats know what to say and what to do to rile us up. But yet still, they have the same ideology.
Yeah,
we're not paying attention to the so-called politics. Politics is about business.
They had a chance.
Business is politics.
They had a chance to
using the people.
But Mr. Kevin, they had a chance. They had a Democratic Attorney General, Merrick Garland, so say was being nice, knowing these devils was doing this. He failed in his job. They should, if anybody should be looked into, investigated, why did Merrick Garland did not go forward with any charges on Trump?
Because everything was already designed and planned to do what is happening. You used to talk about the Project 2025, Jay, for the last 3 years before it even started coming to. You understand?
Right.
You was on the money. The Democrats had the same ideology. The Democrats and Republicans work for the corporation. We got to understand, as long as we are being distracted to fit into a party that neither one represent us, we are the so-called lambs and sheep for them. And we got to understand, as black people, we have to get out of this in order for us to see our true freedom, because the only way it works is we participating in it. And every time they got a voting poll or voting registration, who's the one they always saying, black people, we got to go do better. Black people, we got to go and save this country.
Right.
Why it always have to be the poorest people that got to save democracy for the rich in the so-called middle class that they now don't have no more? Now, you mentioned Rashard Ritchie. Smart man, educated and everything, but he's the new Roland Martin. When I remember Roland Martin, when he first came out, he brought us all the information that we needed to hear. And then he became a Democratic fanatic and started selling us slowly.
Put his eggs all in one basket.
Today. Rashard Ritchie is the same way. He worked for that little network, the TNT, the Turks, who then sold out too. They remember they came out and started bringing all kind of black information for all of us watching. And once they got the rating, they sold to the bigger corporation. All they do is use the people to get to a bigger platform to sell to the rich. Same thing with TikTok. TikTok is the same way. You remember when Trump said he was going to ban them?
Right.
And then for the inauguration, who was in the inauguration crowd? The owner of TikTok, right?
Right.
So he bought them off. It's about controlling the narrative. That's why the FCC and everybody else is trying to stop us from telling the truth, which they cannot stop that. And this is why we got to build our own platform. We don't have to have nothing worldwide, but locally we can start meeting with each other, and no politician involved. I'm telling you now, do not trust none of these black politicians or black so-called what they call themselves now, the non-profit people.
Yeah.
Those black people are infiltrators. They work for the government. Their job is to get them government contract to make sure they line us up for the voting clause. Now, they do some good things. I'm going to give them that credit. But they also hurt, too, because, in a non-profit organization, you cannot tell the truth.
Right.
This is why the NAACP have lost their administrative narrative over the black people, because they have sold out. They are now part of the government agency being paid to dilute our story.
And in these times, Mr. Kevin, shouldn't they be fighting? Justify their existence? None of these groups is justified.
No, they don't need it. Jay, the key to politics is to buy into the politics funds, which is our tax dollars, that the corporation is living on. Every one of these politicians get free health care that they deny us for. They get free tax money from us that they deny us from getting back. That's why you don't see none of them putting on the amendments to tax the rich, to make the livable wage go to a livable wage. Notice that every time there's an amendment, it's about juvenile detention home, prison camps. Everything that doesn't involve us, but we involve in it through them. You understand?
Right.
We not understanding that we have to pay attention to our politicians. They are our biggest threat. Well, was now. Now that Trump done passed his big, beautiful bill, they're going to see all the clauses that's in there. AI can't be governed by neither one of these parties for the next 10 years. How the hell is that government? How the hell that is legal?
Yes.
That you can't govern AI, but you can so say govern us for the words we say.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is that people need to wake up, black and white people, because white people right now, they are the key to getting us our democracy. But we cannot follow them now because they will sell us out again once they get the numbers. And the Democrats right now are working on trying to win our vote back, because they know what they've done. Their job is to make sure they can lie to us again and make us believe by showing more black faces. As you notice, that little guy, Hakeem Jeffries, that's Nancy Pelosi's puppet. You know that, right?
Yeah, he big disappointment. Big disappointment.
Well, what I'm trying to tell you
Weakening
is
of
that Jasmine Crockett getting so much rating right now, all of them jumping behind her. What happened to that old, I don't know if that girl, Latino or whatever, AOC. What's her name?
AOC, yes.
Another fraud. Bernie Sanders tried to tie up with her to get her to run for the next presidential election. This is what they're building up. They got to find a narrative to make black people and Latinos believe they're part of this government, which we are not. We're being used through this government. And that's what and like I say, with those Latinos and the Cubans and all of them, Trump them already knew what they was about to do with all these Alcatraz, alligator prison camps. It was to separate the minorities to make money off of it. And white folks, I hope y'all listening, because through that prison sentence, y'all got to pay it through your tax dollars. And it's all going to private-owned prisons. And that's why these politicians are signing off for it, because they get a percentage of it too. Did you know that, Jay?
Yeah, and they don't tell us nothing. The politicians, the ones who, let's say the people who really into electing somebody thinking they're going to fight. None of these politicians come. When the last time you heard of a town hall meeting on a regular basis where they could come and inform? Wouldn't the local politicians be worried about a lot of these young ladies might lose their job with that big ugly bill with home health? How many of these home health companies going to fold? How many of these agencies like Smile and the one out there in St. Mary Parish might fold? None of them telling people nothing. Nothing. So what that mean? That's a fix that was in. You're right, Mr. Kevin. That's a fix.
Because we're not holding them accountable to their words. Every time they lie to us, here come a distraction they throw up in the air, and we jump at it. Like some animals, you know how they train a dog to go get a ball?
Right.
That's black people. Throw a ball and tell them they got something in it for them, and they going to run after it. And it be the same old ball that don't have
somehow
lie.
Somehow people are more worried about P. Diddy, whether or not he could get a pardon.
Well, that was our distraction to Trump's Jeffrey Epstein. Puff Daddy was the black Epstein, you understand? So what you do is throw him out first. And remember, Biden did this now. You remember when P. Diddy tried to open up the so-called black party in 2020?
Right.
That's when the Democrats got mad at him because, you see, he's a celebrity. He got the power to incentivize us to start our own. They don't want that. Every black person that get to a point where they can change black ideology, white folks don't love that. I remember one time, Jay, on your show, this was 2-3 years ago, that little white guy, David Levy. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, he's still up on social media, yes.
Yeah, well, he didn't sold that property to that solar company, so he not worried about us no more because he done made his money. But you remember when you said you was an independent, he got so mad at you?
Yeah.
Because, and I told you on the radio that if he could have whipped you for saying what you said, claiming that you're independent, he would have tried to whip you. And this little guy is a handicap. You understand?
Yes.
That goes to show you how much evil these people are. They don't care about nobody but themselves. Even talking about handicap, even that little guy in Texas, the governor.
Yeah, Hot Wheels.
Yeah, well, do you remember Legion of Doom? That was the X-Men with the little guy that was in the wheelchair, that magnetic man?
Yeah.
These people are real cartoon characters living it out and hurting their own people to get to the people they can't stand. So we the people like us got to so-called let them know about themselves. Now, last but least, you said about the black employment, Jay.
Yeah. I'm going to play that piece anyway, right after you.
But let me, I've been studying that too, but let me show you how they're doing to black people to make us go more afraid.
Right.
Instead of giving the true numbers, what they do, they give us percentage, right?
Yeah.
There's 350,000 people that's been unemployed by so-called Doge and Trump new administration, correct?
Right.
So what they're going to do, they're going to make black people look like it's more of them by the numbers. It's percentage. To every one black person DEI hired, there's 10 to 15 white people. You understand?
Right.
That's not equity. That's not diversity. But to scare black people with this DEI program, give it by percentage. We are 13% of this country's population. And all the things that's bad is labeled to us, correct?
Yes.
And the white so-called, and I'm not even going to give them the full number because they got Asian, Cuban, certain amount of different culture of people they classify as Caucasian and being white. Why is that? But to get us riled up, I always say we at a higher risk than any other culture. Remember when COVID first came out, it was just hitting black people, so say?
Right, right.
And then studies showed that their medicine was killing more black people than anything.
Yeah.
But you see, you can't say that either because they don't want us to know the truth because it would take that theory and that fear out of our head. See, they've been using that psychological warfare against ourselves. We are the ones helping these people destroy us by not going to do our own research. See, when you go outside, Jay, and you do your own research and you find out the truth, you know you make more people mad at that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Now, tell me, does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
That you take time out of your busy day to go and find out why is black people the most indoctrinated people on this planet, but at the bottom.
Yeah.
We have more degrees than white people. We know more European history than white people. Ask them about African history. Don't know a damn thing. All that is designed to destroy us.
And make us
and
think it's so bad
because we are so afraid with their so-called rules and regulations they put on us.
Make us feel so bad just to talk about African history or anything related to blackness, you know.
Well, you said earlier, Jay, why are we so afraid to tell the truth? Why are we so afraid to find out what's really going on? Yeah. But who we depend on the most to so say help us? The same people who incarcerate, the politicians, that's the black ones. Long as them and their family are doing good, we doing good to them. You understand?
Yes.
And we got to stop following the narrative of not holding these black politicians accountable. Because as you notice, there's 6 of them, and they just spread them to different divisions. Blanco got her little Negro, Pierre. The parish got, the state got, Gerald Boudreaux, who was part of the black caucuses who sold more black people to slavery than anything. And now we got the Negro, Cleo Fields, who is a puppet now. Notice that man's face. Notice his characteristic now. He can't even be straight to his own self. But yet still we can't talk about these people because they say we can get in trouble. Well, I'm already in trouble. Bring it to me.
Yes, sir.
Being black in this country is trouble. Until we start seeing that, these people cannot control us.
Yes, sir.
Now,
yes, sir.
you're going to have some people try to dilute what I say and change the subject to church. This is our life. This is our church. This is our Bible. That's what people don't understand. Our lives is our Bible. We got to represent that and protect it for our children to see their Bible. You know, I was watching a little show with Wallace. He had that old racist guy Tuchek on last week. I wish I'd have known that.
Yeah, superintendent, yeah.
Superintendent who is the one closed the black schools and the poor white schools. None of these Negroes talked to him about that. This man came on a program to spread a narrative like he was the white savior. It's about the money and control. He's a Trump fanatic. But yet still we don't see people that we associate ourselves with is the one that is destroying us and we are helping them.
And it's time to call out these local politicians who some in the community elected. Let me know where you stand. I need to know if you're a MAGA. I'm not even talking about Democrat, Republican. I'm talking about MAGA. If you're a MAGA, you support the policies that are going to destroy the black community. That's what I want to know. So what I'm saying, Mr. Kevin, is MAGA is only as strong as the people on the local level that uphold these people. So if Mayor President Blanco is a member of the Republican Party and you have a high-ranking Democrat office of the Democratic Party working for you, Why he can't take those questions that I posted and ask her? I just want to know. I'm not asking for nothing else, but let me know how you feel about doing away with things that gonna hurt the black community. That's all I want to know. But guess what? They get mad at you for asking those questions.
Okay, Jay, who helped Blanco win?
The black community.
All right, and who was those Negroes that bought her on 88.3 to make black people believe she was another white savior? Where I called in and asked her, do you oppose Donald Trump? And at the time, Jeff Landry was running, you remember?
Right.
Governor. She said I was going to get her in trouble. You know that black host, what's his name, Uncle Rekus, said that she didn't come on the show to be questioned like that. Well, Negro, why did you put her on your show? What did she promise you under the table? If she can't answer that she denounces white supremacy and white people like him, then she is part of them.
Well, that's what we're saying.
I denounce black and white. It doesn't mean about a color to me. It's
and that's what we're
saying. Job to represent the people. You represent the people.
And that's what we're saying. A legitimate question to an elected official that people, constituents that voted for you to help put you in office, you should be able to just be honest and say, listen, I support Donald Trump. Hey, I'm not mad at you. I know where you stand. I'm against Donald Trump.
Rhetoricians putting on auditions for us to make us, the people, believe they're there for us. They are not there for us.
You know, Mr. Kevin, some people ask me, what does it matter if she support Donald Trump or not? If she doing things for our community? I say, hold up, these people are not playing by the rules nowadays. You know, they against cancel culture, but guess what? They're the one who is cancel culture. They're canceling every damn thing. So I have to know if they're canceling black folks, because the end game is to do black folks in. You gotta ask them that question. They don't want to answer that, and then people get mad when you ask questions like that.
Well, I'm really not worried about who get mad. That's why whatever I say on this phone, I can tell them in person, Jay. But the biggest thing is, it's not about corruption and who is the lesser two evils. It's about the people believing this kind of stuff.
Right. And that's what I want the people to. Yeah, that's what I want the people to know where she stand. Be honest. Tell us where you stand. Where Freddie DeCourt stand in New Iberia? Where he stand? You know.
He stand on buying all them old buildings that white people lost.
Well, hold on. Now you see, you're making me go somewhere else. Why in the hell he putting up all them little cultural signs when the community is not fixed up? Signs.
Well, that's the laundry of the money, Jay. You don't understand. They get those government grants. Didn't Biden pass the infrastructure bill?
Yeah. You see, we went somewhere else.
all you do is launder the money. This is what these politicians do. You know, when they talk about me or you transferring some money somewhere, it's called money laundering. But when they do it, it's called money surrendering.
Yeah.
We got to stop letting these people use their words. See, people don't care no more because half the society is ignorant through our education system. And this is why they don't want you to be taught about slavery. This is why they don't want you to be taught about African history, white people. Because if you would see what it's designed to do, it hurts all people except the rich. As long as they keep us at the bottom fighting each other, they could rob us.
Right.
All was happening, and look, I keep saying Trump cannot affect us. He is affecting all the people that has been infecting us, which was the Democratic Party. Notice how the Democratic Party not going on these live TV stations like they used to.
Right.
But they'll send some black faces to be a spokesman for now. And black people who go and speak cannot say nothing that their white man didn't tell them. You understand? Yeah. Everything is handwritten.
Yes.
And that's what I don't like about Jasmine Crockett. She's too intelligent to be following dummies to save a party that is dumb. This party is done with. Trump is exposing the greed has took over these white people.
In other words, they cooked. They are cooked. In other words, like they say, they are cooked.
But they can't lie no more, Jay. And right now, with us, with social media and everything being exposed, even the mainstream media, they're a commercial outlet now. They can't bring no information.
Oh man, and people fall for that News Nation bull. They're just as bad as all the other stations, even MSNBC.
Notice how they've been selling those little small news stations to the big corporations. Because one run out of lies, the other one has been presenting the real information we need. They buy it and then start editing it.
Yeah.
It's just changing of the crowds.
Right.
That's what we're not understanding. It's the same old thing. When these big corporations buys the little media outlet, they become them.
Yeah.
But they want their audience. You understand?
Right. Right.
It's a narrative that they got to keep. Even these rappers, as you see all of them getting broke, getting in some kind of trouble that the government had been hiding, and now they're running because Trump exposing everybody except his. So we got to understand, let these white people fight, enjoy our show, and pay attention to our family, and correct our children's mind. Because our children are the one that can change things, but if they don't know nothing, how can they change something?
Exactly.
But we want to send them play sports. We want them to entertain these people. That's all they want us to do is to entertain them while they rob us. Because even those sports guys, as you notice, Jay, they retired and broke, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why is that? Because the government is a system that gives, but it takes more when it comes back. And what we do every year, every other year, vote for it.
Vote for it. Yes, sir.
And that's why when we so say go and pull those polls, we really don't understand what politics is about. Politics is about business. But they need your consent for them to send a leader that's going to sell your rights to them. And you can't be mad because guess what? You voted for it. You voted for this weak person to go represent you against wolves and dogs who eat their own just to stay alive.
Yes,
so we got to understand, if we don't start being political savvy, like Brother Darrell mentioned a while back on his show, we're going to be destroying our own children's future because we don't have none right now, Jay. And look, I'm glad I didn't go to college, man, because our children will get all these degrees. Do you know in that percentage, majority of those degreed people are the ones that's unemployed?
Wow. Wow.
You saw that report?
Yeah. Yes. Well, yeah.
All of them that went get indoctrinated with these degrees are the ones that are unemployed. And guess what they got to come do? They got certificates and degrees to be in teaching and administration. They got to come work at Dollar General so they can start paying back that student loan.
Right.
And every year what we saying, oh, I want my child to go to college. For what? You remember back in the day they had that school called the base in Liberia that showed you a skill of welding?
Yeah.
Didn't you hear Biden before he lost the rest of his little mind say, we need to start sending them back to vocational school where they can learn a skill? Because they didn't need no more indoctrinated people. They had enough. See, this government is designed when they get enough people, they close the border. So all what Trump done, defunded the education and all that, the Democrats was about to do that too, but they didn't have enough heart to say they was going to do it because they so say the people's people. You understand?
Right.
So until we wake up and spread all this, Jay, we just playing in a big game, and like I say, we not part of the game, we work in the game.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And white folks are suffering too, so black people, like I said, stop worrying about what these people going to try to put fear with you with this DEI and all this other garbage Trump is putting. It's hurting more white folk because 70% of our culture of people are in prisons. Correct, Jay?
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So why you don't give us the full number instead of using in percentage? See, percentage sound like a lot, but they break it down in percentage. It might be 2 blacks, but they're going to say 2%. You understand?
Right.
And black folk go quick. 2%, because a lot of them don't know math.
Right.
2% is 2% of what the people. So we got to stop worrying about all that, because these white people need us to survive. Without us, there is no them, but we got to stop participating with them until they recognize who we truly are. And like I said, go back to the old town that we used to grow our own things, grow our fruits, grow our vegetables, raise our chicken, raise our hogs. Because as you notice, Jay, all those stuff they took away from black people is now $1 million business.
Business, yes, yes.
But they just have to distract us.
Well,
tell us to go get educated.
Well, Mr. Kevin, I want to get this phone call from my guest. Come on at 10 o'clock. I really appreciate your comments. Thank you so much. Don't feel free to call back, brother.
All right.
All right. Thank you. Hello, caller.
Yes, good morning. Is this Brother Jay?
Yeah, good morning, brother. Good morning.
Hey, Brother Jay. Good Wednesday morning to you, sir.
Yeah.
Are you there by yourself? Where's Sister Khadijah?
I guess she's incognito, something like that, like word she like to say, incognito. So meaning she hiding out, or she got probably have something to do. Anyway, what's happening, Coach? What's going on?
Hey, it's a beautiful Wednesday morning, and happy to be here with you guys. Thanks be to God. I mentioned something the last time we had a conversation. But I want to start off the conversation with this. So our brother that was just speaking to you, Mr. Kevin.
Yeah.
Good morning, Mr. Kevin. How are you? Hope all is well with you, and great knowing that. I want to say to Mr. Kevin also, Mr. Kevin, you are appreciated. You are appreciated by those who appreciate you. You care, and we appreciate that. Mr. Kevin, you are appreciated. Thank you, sir. Brother Jay, I want to mention to you this. I just got a brief, I was in and out, so I didn't get a chance to hear everything y'all started talking about when Mr. Kevin started. I didn't hear any of that. I heard just probably the end, if that was the end, and I heard just that part.
Right.
Brother Jay, Mr. Kevin, if I could chime in on Mr. Kevin he spoke about educated people in his own words, in his own way, and people with degrees. And he mentioned the word indoctrination, indoctrinated, and everything. He probably said it different. I pronounced it my way, and those things, and a lot of other things that he said that I didn't hear because I wasn't listening when y'all show began, and I wasn't listening to when Brother Kevin called. Now, I want to just make sure that Brother Kevin understands. Everything that Brother Kevin says is on point, whether you hear it or not. If you wasn't listening, you missed some good stuff. If you heard it, then you heard some good stuff. It's always on point. Okay, so now I'm going to start with my parts. Nothing to do with his. Brother Jay, today is Wednesday, August the 6th.
Right.
In the year 2025. How did we get here with our situation in this country like this? Brother Jay, the question to all of us right now is this. Call us, call in, answer the question. How did we get here? Oh, who's the we? Let me describe the we. The we is Americans, the citizens, and all who come to America. For whatever reasons they come, for all who come to America, spend $1 in America, stay here for a while in America, and do what they do in America. Do business in America. Welcome to America. North America. Not South America. I'm talking about North America. South America, that's a whole nother conversation. We talking about North America. Everybody, call in, answer this question. How did we get here? What happened? When did it happen? I don't want to say who's to blame, but I want to ask y'all this. Who do we blame? Guys, we have a situation, and I would recommend everybody go look up the definition of situation. And when you look it up, call in and begin answering these questions now that you know the definition of situation. I want you to also look up the definition of circumstance. Look up the spelling of circumstance and look up the definition of circumstance. And then I'm going to leave y'all along with this. And I'm giving y'all some assignments, just like a school teacher would do. Here's the last assignment. Your last assignment is y'all need to call in this show and keep the blinds busy so that we get to hear from y'all perspective. Guys, y'all are all involved. You're an American. Why aren't you saying something? Why aren't you doing something? And if you don't do nothing, and if you don't say nothing, change. Oh, my bad. One last one, Brother G.
Mm-hmm.
To all of y'all listeners, change happens whether you like it or not. You can't stop change. You have nothing to do with change. In fact, go look up the definition of change and ask yourself a question. Why do I have to live my life every day waking up to that word change? And it's in every second of every minute of every hour of every day. The word change. Guys, we live in an ever-evolving situation.
Mm-hmm.
Some people going to call it the earth. Oh, we live on the earth, man. But the earth is a situation itself. Guys, go look up the word that I gave y'all. Call into this show and start talking about it. Because those words are going to have the answers to the issues that we are now faced with, dealing with in North America. Guys, North America has changed. It's not that it is changing. It has changed. And the brother Kevin mentioned some stuff about education. He talked about all kind of things. And I'm gonna just close like this. He talked about all the changes that are being made to change the way things were to this new order. You know, there's something that people used to say, a new world order. What is a new world order? Where is that taking place? And who are the creatures that is happening to? Oops, my bad. Yeah, I just call all of us some creatures.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know that you're a creature, go open the Bible. Keep reading.
Okay.
Keep reading. Oh, stop. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
You're a creature. It hits you. Guys, let's stop this nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
Our brain, I'm going to close with this, Brother Jay. Our brain, once it knows, it can't go back to not knowing.
Yes, sir. Yes,
That's
sir.
called acting stupid. That's called acting ignorant when you know you're not. And that's called what? What? The question is, what else is it called? Answer the question.
Okay.
The ball's in y'all court, you're dribbling.
Okay.
Don't fumble your ball.
Okay.
You can't fumble a basketball. Fumbling happens in football.
Okay,
in
cool.
basketball, you can get the ball taken from you.
Thank
Don't
you
let
so much.
nobody take your ball.
Thank you so much, Coach. We got another caller on the line.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Call,
much.
Brother Jay. Take the call. Have a
All
good morning. Let the callers answer those questions. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Caller? 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 Call back, caller. Call back. I'm sorry. I missed your call. Certainly, both our callers had a lot to say. And let's say this last question by Coach. How did we get here? Well, you know, my theory has always been that this is an eternal fight. The common denominator, United States is a so-called democracy and a capitalist society. It's based on one big pyramid scheme. Those at the top will have more than the people at the bottom. And it's also an eternal fight. It's not a fight that we give up on the civil rights back in the 60s, the stuff that happened in the 30s and the 40s, the 80s, the 90s. It's going to always be that eternal fight. Let me get this caller right quick. Caller? Hello, caller? Good morning.
Good morning, Brother J.
Good morning,
I'm trying to speak on some of the things the caller said. I mean, to coach, change is to make something different, alter it, and situation is the state of affairs. Now, what that have to do with what's going on in America? Well, I don't know what it has to do or how it's going to help. But what I'm saying is this is nothing. This is not nothing new. What's going on? What's taking place is not nothing new. It's something that they've been working on,
right?
And they just they just have the authority in every branch of government to move it forward. They find a way to move the white supremacist value forward.
Mm-hmm.
We jumping on some of us jumping on the Democratic Party. Some of us jumping on this politician, that politician, which when they're not doing right, we need to criticize. We need to bring it out. But the notion of it all and what's about to go down is bigger than a vote. It's bigger than you going to the poll
right.
and vote. It's bigger than you not voting. It's bigger than us not sitting there and not fighting. It's bigger than that. What they're getting ready to do is bigger than Republican Democratic fight. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than that type of fight. This should be a fight for all people of color, no matter what race, what culture, all people of color. This should be a fight that all people of color take on, because what's at stake? Civil rights. The Civil Rights Act. They just start chipping away at it. Human rights. Vital resources. Viable
and let me just chime in before you segue on one issue you just brought up, human rights. When you have people jumping out of cars and with masks and so-called badges and taking people off the street, kidnapping them, even though we don't see a lot of that in the black community, we saw it in the Haitian community, except the Haitian, they whip a couple of asses back there in New York. But the thing is, this is going to be coming out more. Louisiana has more of those places. To take 100 up to, no, well, it's more than that because I keep seeing the numbers change out of the so-called big ugly bill. Take up to 200 billion people, $200 billion, and give it to a police force that could be mainly a secret police force with all types of arresting powers, much like the military, where they could come in your house even if you're the mistaken identity and take you and take you to another country where you could get killed. If they get taking that money and giving it to them, Brother Keith, and taking away from Medicare, Medicaid, and maybe in some other programs, and giving that to a police force, that tells you they have declared war. This administration basically declared war upon people of color in the United States. And don't think it's just going to happen to the Hispanic. That's my premise. I say they're going to take it further. They're going to take it farther than that. That's why they're trying to build it up by giving it all that money. And don't think because once if they ever succeed, luckily, to deport all these people in the United States, all these prisons still got to be filled that they're building or will be building. It's still got to be filled. And who you think going to be filling that? When them young people are rolling on each other and consider each other the ops in all these little small towns in Louisiana, shooting each other, killing each other, well, guess what, young people? Y'all need to be educated to know who your ops are. Your ops are not people who look like you and you get mad over some type of board game or some type of diss. You stop, take that energy, go out there and organize and be accountable to your community instead of rolling on the wrong ops. The ops are the people who's trying to hurt your grandmother with no Medicaid or no Medicare or no hospital or no nursing home. That's your ops, people. So I just wanted to, when you brought that part up about human rights, that's the human rights I'm talking about. Go ahead, Brother Keith.
Correct, Brother J. You know, and the reason why it's so evident that we make sure that our people know that we need to wake up, we need to fight, at all levels, all costs. We need to get informed. We need to get informed because what's about to go down. 22, I can't stress enough. In 2026, that big beautiful bill, and I said it on another show yesterday. A big, beautiful bill. Beautiful for white supremacists,
yes,
but ugly for the rest of the country.
Yes.
What's in that bill? What's in that bill is going to be so devastating. It's going to be so devastating. We won't be able to wrap our heads around what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nothing more than white supremacists. It's nothing more than white supremacists.
Yes,
it's nothing more than a white supremacist government, a racist government. A racist government, racist administration.
And it's not just the ones in D.C., Brother Keith. If you are part of you declare yourself as a Republican or even a so-called Blue Dog Democrat, and you uphold the MAGA agenda, whether you in Lafayette, New Iberia, St. Martinville, and you uphold, or in Baton Rouge as the governor, you upholding that MAGA agenda. Basically, you with all the moves and all the bill passages and all the directives against people of color, you have declared war against the black community. Like it or not, it's plain and simple. When Jeff Landry says he have to do away with DEI in these schools, or do away with some programs to help the black community, or some things, and we're putting other races before them, or even saying there's such a thing as white racism, meaning white folks are getting treated in discriminatory manners. Well, you're making up stuff because you're getting ready to say that white and Caucasian rights are more real than the rights of black folks. In the Dred Scott situation, where what came out with the famous quote, it's no rights that black people have no rights a white man is bound to respect. You hear that, people? Go and research it. That's where it's at now. That's what Trump and his administration and the MAGA, all the way down to the local leaders in Lafayette, Baton Rouge, Scott, Broussard, all these MAGA extremists out there. You telling us that black folks have no rights that a white man is bound to respect. Go ahead, Brother Keith.
And I would urge the politicians, I would urge our politicians to come and let us know publicly what's going on. Come educate the people. Let the people know what's about to go down. Let them know that it's serious. It's serious, and it's going to be dire effects, dire consequences. Another thing too, Brother Jay, I want to point out. If a candidate, because I keep hearing that the mayor president, she won the north side for this. Well, we need to put it to a test. She need to let the people know that she don't involve herself in the white supremacy. She don't support that MAGA agenda, because anyhow she ran in our community, she's still a Republican. She's still a Republican. Mm-hmm. She could be secretly involving herself in what's going on nationally.
Her allegiance is to the Republican Party. As an elected political official, her allegiance is to the Republican Party, and the Republican Party have morphed into the MAGA Party, which is anti-black. I don't know how they are against other minorities. I know for a fact that the MAGA people are anti-black.
Correct, and Brother J, we know for a fact that in order for you to be part of the Republican Party anywhere, you got to fall in their agenda, and if you're not falling with their agenda, they're fooling you.
You got to be Tim Scott. I just love you.
I love you. I love you, Master. I love you, Master.
Yeah, and that's how they want us all to be. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then, Brother Jay, another thing I want to point out. Why we on the open line? Because I know why you on the open line? Because I know the open line. I'll bring up issues like that. I urge our organizations, or anybody that can look into what's going on in the 15th Judicial District court system, or the district courts around Louisiana, and the Louisiana Department of Children and Family Services Protective Service Division, Child Protective Service Division. Look into what's going on. I know they got people saying that their children being taken out the home for no apparent reason. There's claims of bribery, all kind of things going on. So I urge them to look into that. And if anybody listening out there that has been that has been affected by the Department of Children and Family Services Protective Service Division, come and talk about it. Inform somebody about what's going on. It's an open platform.
Yeah. So, Brother Keith, I'm about to run this before my guest comes on at 10:30. I'm going to run this piece. I think I got it by Rashad Ritchie concerning the job numbers in the black community. I think let people decide. Okay. Well, we're going to holler. My guest comes on at 10:30. Initially, it's supposed to be 10 o'clock. But this, I think they text me and say they'll be on at 10. That's the Promise of Justice Initiative, a legal, paralegal, and legal lawyers group out of New Orleans that deal with incarceration in the state of Louisiana and other places. So let me play this piece by Rashad Ritchie.
Increasing black employment without saying the word black. We have the numbers. Black unemployment dramatically increases under Donald Trump. Black unemployment under Trump reaches its highest rate since the pandemic. Let me tell you what this means. The latest jobs report released by the Department of Labor shows that black unemployment spiked to 7.2% in July, marking its highest rate since the COVID-19 pandemic nearly 4 years ago. The black unemployment rate has not seen its current level since October 2021, when it was 7.8%. The unemployment rate for black workers reached its lowest level in U.S. history during the Biden administration, 5%. Trump appeared enraged over Friday's overall job numbers, which included a downward turn in the number of added jobs last month, which was only 73,000 according to the Grio. He posted to Truth Social and announced the firing of the Bureau of Labor Statistics commissioner. As a result, he accused the Biden appointee of previously faking the jobs numbers to influence the 2024 election in favor of former Vice President Kamala Harris.
Never sue the other driver after a car accident. There's a better way to get paid a way bigger check without having to go to court or pay expensive.
All because the department released the same data based on the same metric that they have always used. But this time, he can't even lie his way out of the quantitative math. And in order to create smoke and mirrors to his inadequacy, he blames the commissioner and makes up a hell of a creative story that includes a conspiracy between Biden, Kamala Harris, and the labor commissioner. Quote, I was just informed that our country's job numbers are being produced by a Biden appointee. Yes, Dr. Erica McKentrifer, the Commissioner of Labor Statistics, who faked the jobs numbers before the election to try and boost Kamala's chances of victory. Sir, you've just admitted that this week you just found out who the person is, who's the Labor Commissioner, Statistics. You didn't know that? You've been president for a minute. You just found this out. But she's the one who's incompetent. Okay, I got it. So in another post, he wrote, last week's jobs report was rigged. The report was rigged, ladies and gentlemen. Just like the numbers prior to the presidential election, they were rigged too. That's why in both cases, there was massive record-setting revisions. In favor of the radical left Democrats, those big adjustments were made to cover up and to level out the fake political numbers that were concocted in order to make a great Republican success look less stellar. I will pick an exceptional replacement. Thank you for your attention to this matter. MAGA. Are we even in a real place? Is Earth a real place? Definitely we're in the simulation. This man has blamed Democrats who are no longer in office for doing this instead of being one thing, thoughtful about you. He'd rather have propaganda, lies. He doesn't care if you have a job. He knows you don't. He doesn't care that you have to make ends meet. He doesn't. He's not concerned about spending millions and millions of taxpayer dollars on things like ballrooms and private jets. He doesn't care that he could be compromised by foreign governments in order to sell you out. Hell, he's basically advertising he's for sale. Trump says he's done more for Black Americans than anyone. These are just words. If pushing Black unemployment to its highest level since 2021 is his idea of progress, we hate to see what failure looks like to him, said Brandon Weathersby, spokesperson for American Bridge 21st Century. Weathersby told the Griot, quote, instead of delivering on his promises to the working class, Trump is handing out tax breaks to billionaires while Black unemployment climbs and good-paying jobs disappear, he added. Quote, while Trump celebrates phony job numbers and lines the pockets of his ultra-rich donors, Black workers are paying the price. We told you this would happen. We said it right here on Indisputable. The jobs that he has decided to cut, it wasn't just a DEI policy. It was the fact that he was gutting federal workforces that employed Black folk. Remember, the federal government is the #1 singular employer of Black people in the United States of America, the Department of Education being the chief of them, and it happens to be the only entity in the country where Black people are overrepresented based on population ratio. And that's what he gutted primarily. What do you think he's doing? And it has now equated to the eventual cause and effect. It's not complicated. It's just numbers.
No offense, but if you're paying over $30 a month for car insurance.
Yeah, we're back. Well, yeah, I'm paying over $30 a month for car insurance. Everybody does that. Commercial just came into that clip. So we're back with the Open Line Radio Show. Coach, I know you've been calling, but I want to play the clip. Let's see if we can get to you right now, Coach. Coach? Hello? Hello? Coach?
Yes, hello?
Yeah, Coach, we were running the clip, so that's why I didn't pick up the phone.
I caught some of it. Yes, that very informative. Can I?
Yes, sir.
Share a few things? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Let me lower my television. Yeah, I heard that. That's awesome. The last part, wow. Well, Brother Jay, who was that brother?
Rashad Ritchie. He's a talk show host. He was a talk show host on WAOK in Atlanta some 12 years ago. A good friend of mine, like a mentor. And he has joined the TYT Young Turks Network, which I don't always agree with. Mr. Kevin brought up some good points about it, but the brother he still deals with a lot of issues concerning police brutality. Yeah. Yeah. You could go to the Young Turks Network on YouTube and Roku and Fire TV, and you could catch a lot of his programming. Uh-huh. Yeah, my guest comes on at 10:30, Coach. I'll just let you know about 6 minutes. You could go ahead. My guest from New Orleans, they'll be on at 10:30.
Okay. So I got under 2 minutes, you said?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. That's more than enough time. Let me get to the meat then. Everything that he was sharing with us is current information. It's past information, but it's also current. He talked about the gutting of jobs, and most of those jobs being held by African Americans, and et cetera.
In the federal position.
The other thing that he talked about, Brother Jay, I'm glad I remembered. Mr. Kevin, wherever you are, I want you to chime in on this one. Come on, before Brother Jay leaves today.
And the state of Louisiana, Coach, the state of Louisiana has let go a lot of black workers. That's another. It's not being talked about. A lot of people employed by the state of Louisiana, especially in the education department, have been dismissed.
Okay. Yes, Brother Jay, you gotta put that information out. I'm glad you threw that in. Yes. With that said, y'all, that's information. This is not. Nobody's making this up. If y'all are missing this, then y'all are missing it because y'all not keeping up with happenings as things are occurring currently in our country. With that said, Brother Jay, what we have to remember also is that what we are experiencing is it's dismantling. It's a dismantling of the situation, and it don't benefit but those who it was intended to benefit.
Right.
And with that said, as that brother was just talking about, right now, this is a crisis. In fact, it's beyond a crisis. It's been a crisis. And the sad part, watch this. How long have this administration been in that office? I just want to ask you, Brother Jay, how long?
Going on what? 7 months? 6, 7 months? Something like that?
Yeah. Brother Jay, that's not a lot of time to do all that damage like that.
Yeah.
How could that happen?
He came in with a chainsaw.
And watch, Brother Jay. What happened? Here's a question for the listening audience. And what happened to our Justice Department? What happened to our DOJ? What happened to our Supreme Court? What happened to all our judges at all levels of judging from the
Project 2025 agenda took over because it's not really him. He's not the smartest knives in the drawer.
No, that's right.
The Project 2025 boys, like the white Caucasian from over here who graduated from UL, one of the mastermind, Brandon Carr, head of the FCC, that's another one, a whole bunch of them. They had that agenda. They attacked. They went and tore down the infrastructure of the government to put all their people in place. From justice to economics to environmental to financial.
Pardon me. You know what you just described? You just described communism. You just described communism.
With totality, dictatorship. Because some of the communist countries back with, were way better dealing with their people than these people are. Their intentions are here in the United States.
Okay, so I did catch on to that word you used, their intention. That's very important. I caught that. Brother Jay, so what are the intentions of this current situation. And
my theory is the end game is white supremacy rules. That's the only thing they would have in common with Trump. He's not the most educated, the most morally centered person, the most smartest person. He is a white supremacy supreme, so they love that.
Brother James, answer this question.
Go ahead.
Most of the NBA athletes are African Americans.
Yes.
Most of your NFL players are
right.
African Americans. I don't have to go into the other sports, but I'll go with those two. Brother Jay, we have African Americans in all entities of employment in this country, from entertainment to the music industry, the movie industry, to all the different industries, from the refinery industry and everything else.
Right.
Brother Jay, my question to you is this. I don't know, that just came up to my mind. That movie Purge, okay, what that makes you think about? But with that said, I'm going to close on this. Guys, where are, and yeah, that question, I'm going to finish today's with this. Where are the Democrats? Why are they running to Texas? I know about gerrymandering, that process of the drawing of the map. I understand that. Where are they? Why are they running? I know why they're running, but explain to the audience, Brother Jay, why they're running. Explain why they're in the other state. Explain why they're now being, maybe the FBI will go after them and place them under arrest and drag them back like in the cowboy days of Marshall Dillon and Matt Dillon and all of them. Explain all of that to us, Brother Jay. We want to talk about that right now.
Okay, well, if I have time, because my guest's getting ready to come on.
Okay, please save a minute or so. Maybe you and your guest can talk about that when y'all talking. Just bring that up. What is going on in Texas, and why are they running, and why now the FBI might go chase after them, lock them up, arrest them, bring them back to Texas, and make them cast their vote. Explain that to the audience. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Have a great day, Brother Jay.
All right. Bye-bye. Yeah, and when he mentioned the purge, you have the purge going on in the form of the white supremacist ICE agents, because if you look at how these ICE agents are dressed, if you saw the march in Charlotte, there are numerous white supremacy organizations, racist organizations that wear the same type of getup. They wear the hats, they wear the shades, they wear the masks. Go look at the march in Charlottesville, where they had, where all this kicked off a couple of years ago when Trump got in office. Go and look at that, and you can see how these ICE agents have mimicked the way they dress. So you talk about the purge, Coach. Probably a purge is going on a low level for right now. Just people need to just stay vigilant. Okay, so we are waiting on our guests, and I want to also, let's see. Let me play this brief interlude before they come back. Again, Brother Rashad Ritchie was touching on some things, whether you agree or not. I just want to play that clip, what is going on. And there's some headlines in the Louisiana Illuminator. Go to the Louisiana Illuminator. Some interesting article concerning Louisiana and some other things. So I'm going to play this brief interlude right quick, and we'll get right back to the show.
The Open Line Radio Show is supported in part by Finders Keepers, the place with your residential hardware needs, small engines, outdoor power equipment, bathroom accessories, electronics, lighting, plumbing, and everything in between. Located in the Southern Development Office Building, at 1006 Surrey Street, Lafayette. Telephone 337-780-8149. That's Finders Keepers. The Open Line Radio Show. You can call us at 337-534-0036. That's 337-534-0036. For talk and information on Louisiana Superstation, KIEE 88.3 FM.
Yes, people, we're back. We're back here at the Open Line Radio Show on KIEE 88.3 FM and also live cable broadcast on AOC Community Media. That's Cox 15 and LUS Channel 3 in Lafayette. Want to thank all of them for helping us facilitate these great shows that we've been doing for a great while on 88.3 FM. We have a guest on today from a very, very productive organization out of New Orleans, the Promise of Justice Initiative. They've been working with incarcerated people and working to look at some of the injustices that have been going on in the state of Louisiana and other places. So we have on the line Mr. Hardell Ward, a representative of the Promise of Justice Initiative. Welcome to 88.3, the Open Line.
Thank you for having me. Good morning to everyone. And my name is Hardell Ward, Director of Community Impact at the Promise of Justice Initiative. As you said, we're based in New Orleans, but we have a statewide mandate and focus where we want to bring and uplift the voices of our community and uplift the voices of people who are incarcerated and really answer the question, what is the promise of justice and how we can actually realize justice in our state.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And the reason I want to, in these times, when I talked to one of your representatives, Mr. Renard, I think that's his name, and he's was very accepting of my concerns that I have for the state of Louisiana and all the different organizations that are working to help bring forth justice in this state. And I told him about my concerns about the number of prisons, which Louisiana already had. Now, the deportation camps and juvenile justice facilities, that should set out an alarm. Even the fact that they want to use Angola as one of these deportation camps. You have any info on that, or you care to share any comments on that?
The information is as we're hearing. Camp J, for the public doesn't know, is essentially Louisiana, Angola's worst of the worst camp. It was so bad that when the issues were brought to light, the DOC themselves, warden abandoned it and left it. They used it for solitary confinement, and it became just a horror show. People there tell that the things that happened, there was no control. The place was dilapidated. The environment, not only the traumatic cost of simply using solitary confinement in such a way, and what that does to the human mind, but just on that, just the facility. So they shut down this camp, and now we find out that the governor has invented an emergency and declared that there's an emergency that started when they closed it in 2018 that now allows him to get money and give money to, not in a public process, not so we can see who the money is going to, but get money to fix up this place. And it seems like it's doing it to turn Angola also into an immigration center, which I think it's always important to follow the money, because that is at the root of Louisiana's problem with incarceration, is that we have never left the slavery system, and we use a prison plantation system that just exploits and generates money. It's all about money, the ability to continue to commodify and exploit black and brown bodies, and now we want to import them throughout the country, and to hold them, to simply collect money and then discard them and disappear them. And that is what I think the public sees, but we're not saying. And I think we need to be more direct in just saying what we're seeing and how that's accomplished. It doesn't accomplish any goal that any one of us would have. This is not something we want for the state of Louisiana. It doesn't give us anything. It only allows to build an infrastructure that when they're done with this group, they will come to the next group. There will always be that next person, because when you build this system, when you have these structures that are designed to incarcerate, that's what they'll do. I mean, look at what happened earlier this year with the constitutional amendments. Those were amendments. The primary one in there was to make it so they can transfer juveniles to adult prisons and adult court system. Why? Well, what happened the day before the election? The governor had a press conference about building a larger juvenile facility. They were building bigger, better baby cages, and then they expected the vote they would win, and they were shocked there was turnout. They were shocked that people understood what was going on and actually turned out to the polls to reject it. So that's the takeaway. We, the people, still have the power. We, the people, can still organize, can still come together. We can still speak out, and we can still take control of our government and make sure our processes actually reflect who we are. And that's what the call-ins, what Promise of Justice does. Shout out to the Liberty and Dignity Coalition, who kind of led the Nose to Them All this spring, and shout out to everyone who out and voted. And shout out to all the communities. You know, the reason I say we're not just New Orleans, because we're trying to go and make sure we're involved in it throughout this state. We helped put on a community roundtable in Lake Charles area. We're looking to do other communities. If you are in your community hearing this now and are saying, my community's voice isn't being heard, how do I organize? Reach out to me, hward@defendla.org. I'm originally from Crowley, Louisiana.
Okay.
I'm trying to put us in Opelousas
in the
as soon as
backyard.
possible.
In the backyard.
Yeah, absolutely. We know what happened. You know, you look at we know who's in our community. We know what we're thinking. We go to our churches. We go to our events. We know we do not want Angola as an immigration center. We don't want to reopen Camp J. That is not something we want. When we found out about it, we were offended. We were embarrassed. We understood the trauma of our brother and sister incarcerated. We understand that's not rehabilitation. That's not reentry. That is nothing but torture for torture's sake.
And I read an article in one of the major online publications. I don't know if it's Slate or The Intercept or more of those progressive, where they talked about Gina, Louisiana, the camp out that way. And what got my attention, because I participated with the Gina 6 movement back in the day. You know, we could call it back in the day. It was right around my age group. You know, and the troubling issues that the person who was on MSNBC talking about all the racism within he felt in Gina, and talking about the deportation camp in Gina. So this is the problem with the state of Louisiana. So. Yeah,
to be able to look at a person and see them simply as undocumented or immigrant or that, there's a fundamental racism there, because it's a certain type of person you look for to say that. And it's no shock that Gino maintaining that prison complex, that their DA would do that to those kids. Because that's what happens when you allow that kind of culture. And then you look at the problem with district attorneys. Let everyone know, every district attorney is up for re-election in 2026. Every single one. Your district attorney is up for re-election. You know, now's the time to start talking about that and thinking about it. Is this the DA we want? Is this DA accountable to us? Is this what we want from our court system? Is this how we expect our justice system to act? To just seek to incarcerate people and exploit? Or are we trying to rehab our communities? Are we trying to keep us really safe? Are we trying to grow Louisiana? Or do we want to just keep doing the same thing that keeps the same people getting secret contracts to build camps for us and for my son and for our sons and daughters?
Yeah. And in this short time, I'm going to go across the different lists of things that I think this might be a little bit more important than the other. What about this, what you call farm line litigation?
Absolutely. So PGI, for those who know, we're filing suit against the farm line. The farm line is in 2025. Louisiana still does absolute blatant racism and slavery. They have a line where they force people in Angola to march out to the fields to pick and 10 crops by hand, regardless of the heat. Regardless, when we have heat domes and 100-degree weather, there's no shade, there was no water. Just out there in the heat while a guard sits on horseback with a shotgun in case you got out of line. Think of that mental picture and tell me what year that is, and understand this happened last week, and it's going to happen next week unless we stay and say no, that we're not doing that. We know it doesn't serve any rehabilitative purpose. They're not teaching people how to be better farmers. They're not teaching a love of the land. They're not even really teaching hard work, because that, as you know, who's done that kind of purposeless labor, it doesn't teach you to see the value in it. It's just to break you.
Right.
So why are we simply putting people out in the heat and breaking them? And I say the heat because we incarcerate so many. You have men and women who are still who are in their 60s, in their 50s. Yet that in themselves does not keep them from the farm line. They have to get a medical diagnosis, but even then, part of the basis for our suit is that DOC doesn't honor that. You might have a condition that says you can't be in heat. Doesn't matter. You can still be forced out there. It took an injunction to put in a court order that said you cannot do. If someone has a heat-related illness, they cannot go on the heat line. If the temperatures are above or into that heat index where we know it is not possible for the human body to self-regulate, you cannot send someone else. This was last year that we had it. It was in 2024 that a court finally told Louisiana you can't torture people for funsies. And we're still fighting it. You would think that if it was an oversight, someone would get the suit and say, "Oh my God, you're right. Let's just get rid of it. Let's find something else." But no, that's not what happened. Now they're fighting and say, "Oh no, there's water, but we talk to our clients. They tell them there's dirty water. They say we have shade. It's not enough shade for everybody. It is simply a way to be cruel, to break people's mind and spirits. To what end? To what purpose? Other than someone can drive by, see a man on a horse with a gun, and see a field of black men picking crops. Wow. That is the image they want. And I'm born and raised in Louisiana. That's not what we want. That's not what we stand for. But we have to come together and fight back against that. That's what organizing is. Remember, it says, we need to organize. It's really about coming together, taking the single fingers of the individuals, becoming that fist and being that power. And it takes work. It takes time. We're all busy, but we have to understand that it will be us next, because you building infrastructures for what you're going to do to the people. They say the prisons are overcrowded, but they never tell you when there's undercrowded. That's not an issue, because they always fill the prisons. They will invent new crimes to make sure it's overcrowded, so they have reasons to build torture chambers.
Yes,
that is what has happened.
Just recently, the governor signed into law for August. Some new laws take effect. It's almost like every year they adjourn to put more laws on the book. I don't understand it. And some of these laws overlap the older laws, and this is a problem. They're in the business of just putting laws on the book, not really improving the conditions in the state of Louisiana. And one would think, that's because this is my commentary, one would think that Louisiana putting new laws on the book and changing these laws would make Louisiana a safer, better place, but we still lead the nation in all the negatives. So I don't understand it.
I mean, we lead the negatives because there are actors who seize on bad news and keep going. Let's take it to crime problem. We came together. We said we created GRI. We were going to reinvest in our communities. It was working. Right. And then COVID hits. COVID happens, the shutdown. We see what happens when children don't get proper supports, when there is no structure. We had a spike in crime. We had a spike in juvenile crime. Right. There's no denying that. But why did that happen? Because all the structures and systems that support children, that help them on the right of way, those went away, spike in juvenile crime. As predictable and as understandable as it is. What's the response in that? Did we increase the supports and structures? Did we try to pandemic-proof them or streamline or be more health conscious so that we could have maintained? No. Invent more crimes. Say we can put them in adult courts. Put them in adult courts in adult prisons, and let's get a new prison to pipeline, prison to pipeline. The state of Louisiana had never had a single party control its legislature until, I believe, 14 years ago. Yeah. One party took over the legislature. And then it is the 14-year-olds grew up under their rule are the ones they're saying are incorrigible and need to be locked up for the rest of their lives. Right. It was the plan. This is the fabled preschool to prison pipeline. Right. It's to create that so they get incarcerated and then you can exploit their bodies for labor, break you, and then have them do. We had a sheriff who said you can't let them go. They can help wash our cars. We can't let them go. They can do this. They can pick crops. They can take jobs. In some communities, they have incarcerated labor do jobs in private industries. You have incarcerated people cleaning and doing jobs inside of fast food restaurants. And who does it benefit? It benefits the system gets a cut, the business gets a cut because they cheaper labor, and the community suffer. And that, of course, is going to eventually drive someone into criminalization because you still have to meet your needs. We have become a rogue state. We have become a state that is not interested in citizens, and it's time for the citizens to come together and get that power and fight back.
And again, I know we talking about the problems, and a lot of us know these problems exist in the state of Louisiana. Now, your group, your organization, you could only do so much, and so much work to be done with other groups also. So, what's the initial issues that you wanna? The ones you want to bring to the forefront to attack more so than others?
I wouldn't say forefront to attack than others. I would simply say here are the big issues PGI is working on.
Okay.
But because no one really takes over. The farmalization, our non-unanimous jury fight is not over. We still have individuals who are incarcerated for unconstitutional convictions. These are people who went to trial. You're supposed to have a unanimous jury, clear as bail. They did not get that. We came together and we organized and we got the law changed, but we still have probably 1,000 people still incarcerated. And all we want is new trials. No one's opening the door. No one's saying anything other than let's get it right. So that's the issue. We're working on issues with over detention because again, even though people who have served their time are still being held and still be exploited by the system, and there's no real onus or desire to even fix it or get that correct. So we're fighting that. We're fighting for free phone calls. This is something that's kind of new. People don't know about. The FCC, I think it was 2 years ago, passed a rule. When you make a phone call to someone in prison, you incur a fee. Right. Did you know that the facility gets a cut of that fee? Wow. Did you know that that's how they negotiate the price of that fee? It's a kickback, right?
Yes.
So they changed the rule and said they couldn't do that. You cannot tack on money to just exploit, again, from people who are just trying to contact their loved ones. Even though we know contacting your loved ones is what's going to help someone reform and rehabilitate. We know that's the way to get best outcomes. Instead, it's a tax to stop the contact and also to make money. But the law has changed and said you can't do that anymore. But there's time. It's slow. It's how they did segregation. Take your time, and we're saying no. Let's speed this up and get there, and let's connect our communities. It's again, I always look at the time. It's 2025. I'm in New Orleans. We're having this talk that's live to the world. We don't need to charge 9 cents a minute to make a phone call.
Right.
You're only doing that to exploit, and then you look at who gets all the kickback.
Yeah.
Who's actually making the money off of us?
Right.
And that money needs to stay in our communities. It needs to stay in our pocketbook so we can invest in a local business and we'll invest in our children and invest in our homes, our schools. We can get our roof repairs. We don't have to keep using this exploitive system that just extracts from us. Also, PGI is first and foremost, we're an abolitionist. We're against the death penalty. Jeff Landry made it his mission to kill people. And he announced it. He did it. Jesse Hoffman, he took Jesse Hoffman's life. The family members were not even consulted before they were doing it. They filed warrants through his AG office on a number of other people who had not even finished their legal appeals, and they're aware of this. This is not news. It wasn't shocked that they hadn't even gone through the appeals process yet. But it's simply to say, we killed someone. You should be afraid. You have no power. I can take your body. And we always fight. That is our primary mandate here at PGI, because the death penalty, it represents state killing, and the state, the government, should not be allowed to do that.
Right.
And we take the history of it aside. Ideologically, you shouldn't. But then you look at the history, and you look like, what, 80% exoneration rate. No white person has ever been executed for harming a black person in the history of Louisiana, I think it is, or at least it's a couple hundred years old. It's designed to let black people know their place.
Yeah.
And so if you do go in, DAs, they can overcharge. I'll give you the death penalty. So you have to plead to something, even if you didn't do it. That's how you have an 80% exoneration rate. It's people are pleading or people are fighting for cases. The deck is already stacked against them. They already attacked the public defender board and weakened them. So what happens when the state comes for you? If you don't fight back and build the systems for our protection? Safety. It's that safety versus security. Just empowering the state to lock who they say is bad is a way to make eventually you get said bad. They come after me and say, "Well, you spoke," and we're seeing this throughout the country.
Let me ask
you cannot empower the state. Go ahead, sir.
Let me ask you one. You want to take one phone? I know we have a short time. You want to take one phone call? Okay, we'll get this caller. Go ahead, caller. You're on with the representative.
Can I ask that brother a question?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. What is his name, Brother Jay? I want to recognize him.
Hardell Ward.
Brother Hardell Ward.
Yes. Hardell. Yes.
Hardell.
Good morning, Mr. Ward. Yes, Mr. Ward, just consider calling me Coach. Mr. Ward, I want to ask you a couple of things.
Make it brief. Make it brief, Coach.
Yes, go ahead, brother. What did you say?
Make it brief. We have short time. We go up at 11.
Okay, Mr. Ward. Okay, I heard your organization's awesome. Mr. Ward, do you think that this matter can be fixed? That you're talking about, that we are dealing with in this country? Do you think right now that matter can be fixed? If it can be fixed, how long do you think it would take to just break one toothpick stick of the current situation? How long do you think it would take to break just one toothpick of what we're now dealing with in our country? And how long will it take to do this? Because what I'm telling you is it's already been dismantled, my brother. And our form of government is the branches, the executive branch, judicial branch, and the other branch. And those branches can't do anything.
Coach,
talk to us.
Yeah,
let him go, brother.
Yeah, I think, Coach. No, let me answer that. Yeah, absolutely can be fixed. It takes us coming together and doing it. When it's fixed, and I think what you're teaching on, when it gets fixed, what does it look like? Does it look like the same system, or do we transform the system? Do you have to rebuild those structures? I do believe you have to rebuild those structures. But how long it takes to do this, it's how long it takes us to come together. And I say this because when they announced those constitutional amendments, and this is the kind of lore behind the scene, while they were down in the legislature saying we're going to do this and lock up children, the Liberty and Dignity Corporation was forming literally down the street, getting ready for that fight. And if you think so, they were locking up their kids. We had already started the fight to push back, and we were successful. So how long did it take? Well, we were before it. We actually started ahead, and that's the mindset you have to be. You see it. So the question I will put to you is, can you reach out to me? Can you email me? Can we talk? Can we go to your community and get other people together who like mine? And can we build and actually go in and make that first pull that we knew? Because we can. hward@defendla.org. Send me an email. Let's talk.
Yes, I'll be sure to pass that information on to him also. And, brother, I know it's a short interview, but you guys got to come back on and get your
whenever you can. We love to educate. Again, born and raised, both my parents were teachers. My dad was assistant principal. I know education is all we need in Louisiana because we have to transfer information.
Yeah,
we Louisiana.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And how? Give us your contact information, your group's contact information, and any project that you guys need a community support on.
Yeah. So as a Promise of Justice, you can go to justicepromise.org. My email is hward, HWARD, @defendla.org, DEFENDLA.org. If you go to our website, you can get our general contact information. You want to reach me. If you reach me, I might send it to other people just to, I am one person and we do have a team of people. So, but if you let me know if you specifically want a response from me. Otherwise, reach out, look out in the communities. We work with other community groups throughout in Shreveport area. Look for Pipes in Lake Charles, Mother's Voice in Baton Rouge, East Baton Rouge Prison Coalition, and there's other groups around the state. It doesn't have to be with PJI, but if you are someone who sees the problem, find those who look like you. And if you don't see who look like, that's when you reach out to me, and we're gonna build it if it's not there. If you are doing the work and you need some support, let me know. See if we can get out there and support you and help really big, because that's all we need. Once we get all our communities connected and integrated, that's where we can use the technology. We can use radio. We can use our Facebook, use our social media, and build a network so all knowledge is known. And once we have that, the system will fall.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Again, we thank you and your great group for all the work you do. This is work needed in the state of Louisiana. It's an ongoing fight, and some people think this could be cured overnight. It's an ongoing fight. Different generations. We got to keep reaching the generation come after us.
It's a continuous fight. That's the thing. Yeah. At no point does it stop.
Yes.
We have to educate our young people, because it's when you stop is because the other side's not going to stop.
Yes.
We have to keep fighting. Freedom is an active thing. Freedom is not passive. Freedom is an active thing that you have to declare and move for every single day in every single way.
There you go. I really appreciate you, Mr. Hardell Ward of the PJI.
Promise of Justice
Institute. Yes. Thank you all so much for the interview, and hope to see you guys again.
Yes, sir. Can't wait to talk to you again.
Okay. Bye-bye. Yes, there you go, people. You just got it from the Promise of Justice Institute. Great information in this short time. I'm sorry it was a short interview. We're just not getting back into the physical studio of 88.3 FM. Again, we want to thank the staff and management at 88.3, Mr. John Freeman and Mr. Charles. Wish you were here, Sister Khadijah. Shout out to Brother Shaheed and all the supporters of the Open Line Radio Show here on 88.3. Stay tuned next week. Hopefully we'll be in the studio with some more interesting guests. And thank you, Coach, and thank you, Mr. Kevin. So we're going to sign off in a minute. And hope you guys have a great Wednesday.